Honorable Governor of Uttarakhand, Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh, a man who can fire you to unleash your energy. Always a pleasure to see him speak. He speaks out of his mind and expresses confidence for all of us that India will be a developed nation by 2047. My greetings to you, sir. Shri Sunil Kumar Gupta, Secretary to Vice President of India, an alumnus of IIT Kanpur, and one of the senior most officers in the highest cadre of Government of India. Dr. H.S. Bist, Director, CSIR, IIP. Sir, your address fructified, brevity the soul of it. A remarkable journey of this institute with gratifying national achievements in varied fields. I'll come to that a little later. Shri Anjum Sharma ji, Senior Controller of Administration, distinguished members of the faculty, staff, and most important, my dear students. Those who are in the back bench are not backbenchers. You just happen to be on the back bench. Am I right? When I looked at the address, the director was good enough to pass on a copy to me. Remarkable. It defines the essence of our developmental journey. It defines the big change that is taking place in our country. Imagine LPG sweetening catalyst at 11 Indian refineries and also 2 foreign refineries. What a performance. Look at new R&D initiatives of this institute, fully aligned with Government of India's vision of Viksit Bharat, net zero by 2070 and UN's, United Nations Sustainable Developmental Goals. It is, as a matter of fact, realizing the statement of the Prime Minister when he was reflecting in the context of Paris Agreement. India is in the lead. Look at sustainable aviation fuel produced, and that was used in the first Indian demo flight from Dehradun to Delhi, and what a spectacle it was. I had the occasion to witness it. Fly past of the Republic Day parade in 2019 and 2024 where I was there. This was reflected. Then friends, just imagine the kind of technology that has a larger ramifications. Your institute has developed advanced vacuum pressure swing absorption technology to upgrade raw biogas into piped natural gas. It is not easy. It is required. People will not catch up with the idea unless you are so developed. And the list is long, but I will make reference to 2 more. Mitigation of forest fire in hilly regions of Uttarakhand by utilizing pine needle briquetting to produce biogenic fuels. Fires are a global menace. The world is fighting with it. I have no doubt there will be time soon enough when this institute will raise the benchmark for global resolution of this kind of menacing situations. And for human resource, you have absolutely done something amazing, sir. Empowerment of human resource by your institute in the shape of customized training programs in the area of hydrocarbon, petrochemical and automobile industries. A huge contribution for our climatic situations. My young friends, I am delighted to be amongst you all in this institute, an institution that is at the forefront of nations' scientific innovations and endeavors. I can say now, I knew it before, but what has been indicated by the director, a driving engine for Viksit Bharat, an engine that is working on all cylinders to generate an ecosystem for larger welfare. Friends, the majestic Himalayas, serene rivers and lush forests of Uttarakhand, they remind us of our profound connection to nature, which is under threat. Nature, echoing the wisdom of Atharvaved, Prithvi Shukt. I'll say it. What does it say? Mata Bhumi hai, Putro Aham Prithvya. I'll translate. The earth is our mother, and we are her children. This ancient insight encapsulates our duty to protect the earth, nurture it. Let me remind you, friends, this is an alert of the menace of climate change. And never forget, we do not have another planet to inhabit. We'll have to take care of this planet when we have no option. There is requirement of convergence of all stakeholders across the globe to contribute in whatever manner they can. This institute is doing its bit. Congratulations. Established in 1960, this institute has grown into an internationally renowned research and development organization. Supporting industry, we have noticed, global collaborations that have been indicated, and numerous patents and awards. This indeed is commendable, and the credit goes to the director, his team, the faculty, and the staff. I applaud your contributions that go for nation building. I congratulate, sir, your institute for developing a patented single-step catalytic process for producing biofuel from plant-derived materials and waste. It has been Prime Minister's clarion call that waste has to be converted into wealth. Your step is a step to realize the vision of the Prime Minister. This advancement is crucial in our quest for clean energy and a sustainable future. Clean energy is just not another option. It is the only option. If we do not have it, we will face existential challenge, and the same about sustainable future. I need not reflect on the various dimensions of sustainable future, but that's the only way of growth. Any other growth mechanism will be threatening to the planet. Friends, our world faces today, and as never before, unprecedented challenges requiring collaborative solutions. Climate change, biodiversity loss, and resource depletion threaten our very existence. And these are happening all over the globe. They are happening in our backyard. They are happening beyond our frontiers. These are urgent issues. They demand bold action. And forums like this, laboratories like this, institutions like this provide vital platforms for collective dialogue and commitment. In our interconnected world, and the world has never been so interconnected as during our times. Anything happening in any part of the world is known to us. It affects us. It generates problems for us. We must realize that these challenges that transcend borders, conflagrations in any part of the world. We may not be directly impacted by those conflagrations, but we get affected. And they affect whom? They affect most vulnerable communities and ecosystems globally. We must adopt people and nature-centric approaches with global leadership driving the mainstreaming of environmental protection and climate justice at all levels. These are issues that are deeply embedded in our civilization, in our scriptures. Fortunately, India's leadership in this global effort is heartening. It's getting traction globally and globally acclaimed also. The government has demonstrated unwavering commitment to sustainable development and environmental stewardship, from ambitious renewable energy targets to initiatives balancing economic growth with ecological preservation. People from outside this country are wonder-struck when they move into the countryside and find that renewable energy is becoming the normal. It's a new norm. It has reached the farmer, the village, the distant corner. The transition to clean and renewable energy is a cornerstone of sustainable development, mitigating climate change impacts while fostering economic growth and innovation. If we do not get into the groove of clean and renewable energy, our efforts for development will go down the drain. To preserve our efforts, to realize the fruits of our efforts, our commitment to this has to be absolutely unqualified and of the highest order. The world has acknowledged India's commitments by way of its actions, such as the launch of the Global Biofuel Alliance during G20 summit in 2023. It was a historic development, appreciated by all. But India took the lead during G20, a significant step towards a sustainable energy future and hence sustainable development and hence consequently a planet that will be habitable. India aims to become carbon neutral by 2070 and is expanding biofuel use in its transport sector. You must be getting from media day in and day out that this is getting traction. The use is getting increasingly more important. Electric vehicles, once there was a time it was a dream. It's now a ground reality. They are receiving unprecedented support, and the circular economy of which the Prime Minister talked from the Red Fort in 2014, it has turned into a revolutionary moment. This is increasingly getting emphasized in all our actions. However, friends, We must also focus on the optimal utilization and preservation of natural resources. They are limited. They are given by the nature. They are not for the benefit of an individual. We are in trusteeship of those resources. So there has to be optimal utilization and preservation of natural resources. And the utilization has to be based on our usage of actual minimal needs. It can't be dictated by our financial power. I have a word of caution for those who use natural resources because they can afford by virtue of their fiscal muscle. They must never forget they are part of this earth. They are part of this system. Natural resources are for all to be equitably consumed and not to be inequitably utilized. Friends, the integration of sustainability into national planning, budget allocation for green initiatives and flagship schemes, prioritizing environmental protection, showcase India's holistic approach to development. Just look at the last budget that created history on two counts. It was the first budget by a full-fledged woman finance minister. Second, history was created, it was seventh budget in a row by any finance minister, overtaking the record of late Shri Desai. Both had one interim budget. The focus there is on sustainable development, on environmental protection, on holistic development. We find ourselves, friends, at a unique juncture. I know it out of a fact. I was member of parliament in 1989. Youngsters will not know the situation then. The size of Indian economy then, young friends, was smaller than the size of economy of London and Paris. Can you imagine it? Such a large nation. The size of economy in 1990 was smaller than the economy of London or Paris. Just a decade ago, we were amongst fragile 5 economies. And now on this day, we are 5th largest global economy. We are 3rd largest global purchasing power. We are on way to becoming the 3rd largest global economy in 2 or 3 years. This rise is coupled with our deep concern for sustainable development. Our economic progress is being harmonized with sustainable development. It ensures a proud legacy for future generations. A lesson that the world is learning from us. Science and research play a crucial role in opening new avenues that propel India's growth without harming nature. Research and development, I have no doubt, define a country's rise. There was a time when we were not hub of research. We looked to the West. We paid price for it. They chose the timing of it. They calibrated how much they will share. Now change is coming and yours is a laboratory of that change. India, with its rich tradition of sustainable practices, is now in a mode to guide the world, adopting eco-friendly and inclusive development models. Friends, reflecting our age-old spirit, a sense of our civilization, our Bharat has not only mainstreamed sustainability into domestic governance, but also steered global commitments. Because we don't take ourselves separate from the world. We say world is one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We spearheaded the International Solar Alliance. It is headquartered in Gurugram. More than 125 countries are its members. And launched the Green Credit Initiative at COP28. India hosts 85 Ramsar sites. You are trained people, you know the importance of it. This is the second largest network in Asia. Friends, India G20 defined to the world what India is. But it will ever be remembered for one aspect. And that aspect is the motto, the driving force, our age-old belief, a belief which we practice, we live with, and that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The motto was one earth, one family, one future. And this recognizes, puts to the entire world as a writing on the wall, the importance of collective action in tackling environmental challenges. It furthered the cross-cutting theme of life, which means lifestyle for environment, a theme with which our ancestors lived. A theme was extremely successful for societal development and growth, envisioning a mass movement stimulating behavioral change at the individual level with wider positive impacts. Good thing is that our younger people are fast adopting it. I urge all of you to take to this little more seriously. It will be ever helpful in unleashing your energy in a positive manner. We must, friends, acknowledge that climate change disproportionately affects whom? Not the rich, not the mighty. It affects most vulnerable sections of society. This makes, therefore, climate justice our guiding principle. Leadership at all levels is key to integrating sustainable development and climate justice. Friends, I'll slightly digress. It is concerning and unfortunate that challenges to our democracy and spirit of nationalism. We value our democracy. We value our nationalism. Challenges are, and they are emanating from people who once had been in governance or positions of authority. To subserve narrow partisan interests, they go to the extent of floating anti-national narratives and comparing our great stable democracy with system in the neighborhood. Can we ever compare? It is in this regard that vigilant sections of society, particularly the youth, should come forward to neutralize them, rebuff them, and expose them fully. How can we in this country, the largest democracy on the planet, most vibrant democracy, stable democracy under the leadership of a person who after 6 decades is Prime Minister for a third term, how can we in this backdrop suffer an observation that what happens in neighboring country can happen here? How can this thought occur to anyone who believes in the nation, nationalism and democracy here? Such dastardly narratives are condemnable beyond words. Time for our youth in particular to be discerning and impart a befitting rebuff. Friends, a guidance to young minds. You are at the right place. You will realize the import of what I am telling you. Undue focus on government jobs. Undue focus. You must have noticed all over the country. It's taking heavy toll of our youth. It is very simply seductively addictive. Our youth are choking in silos, unmindful of amazing opportunity vistas. Remember what the IMF said. The IMF accolade that India is favorite global destination of investment and opportunities It is not premised on government jobs. It is premised on the avenues that are otherwise available. Our youth have to understand it. Enormous opportunity vistas are available in various fields. Our youth can make their career and make contributions for national and global welfare. From that perspective, friends, it is an urgent need to de-silo governmental opportunities. Time for our youth, time for you to avail and experience the new areas that await on sea, on land, on sky and space for exploration, exploitation of talent, realization of potential and fructifying of ambitions. Friends, I am not generating it. Am I right? It is being generated otherwise. But what I have indicated to you should be so generating. I must caution youth of the country in particular that there are people to lead you astray. They will camouflage their real intentions and turn Nelson's eye to our exponential, unprecedented growth, economic upsurge, phenomenal rise, and rise of reputation of Bharat globally. They ignore all this and they will try to create a different kind of image. They are far distanced from ground reality. They are far distanced from what is happening in India up to the villages. I take the opportunity, inspired by what is happening, Honorable Director, in your institute, to call upon the government and the corporates to be extremely liberal, to be extremely focused for research, and must loosen their purse to propel research. Every rupee spent by them will contribute for nation's growth and global welfare. Friends, it is time for us not to look to the West. It is time for West to look at us. They must look to India for development of technology, research. We have brilliant minds. Our DNA is very different. Global recognition has taken place in the shape of our human resource, leading corporate giants. By way of illustration, let me tell you, we never imagined India is a nation in single digit that is focusing on quantum computing by way of a quantum computing mission, green hydrogen mission. And this is not just on paper. Quantum computing, 6,000 crores were allocated. Green hydrogen mission, 19,000 crores have been allocated. Commercial exploitation of 6G technology will take place from 2025 to 2030. These are some of the areas where we are amongst League of Nations that are in the front line. I have no doubt, friends, my young friends in particular, India's rise, continual rise, incremental rise is assured because of its demographic youth power. All that we need to do at the moment is to make every effort that we always keep our national interest uppermost. We have to keep it above self-interest. We have to keep it above partisan interest. I expect everyone in the country, particularly political parties, they will have their views, they must have. Their views will be with variance with one another. But when it comes to national welfare, nationalism and development, they must not look to the political prism. They must have non-partisan stance to that and bipartisan approach so that our development gets accelerated. I congratulate this institute in particular that it exemplifies excellence, academic brilliance, research in the field it is engaged in. Friends, it has indeed been an occasion to be ever cherished by me. I have gone to several institutions all over the country that are of your kind. Wherever I have gone, my confidence has always been strengthened. That as a nation, we are rising in technology and research. It will be in the near future. We will see a Bharat leading in various fields in which earlier we were at the mercy of others. My best wishes to all the students here. I will make an appeal to the director. It will be my honor and delight to receive your students at the new building of Parliament. If I would be in town, I'll spend time with you. Please come in batches. Our hearts are very close to each other and the distance is not large. I am sure it will start. My office will be in touch with your office. I think the first 2 batches make it in September. Thank you so much for your patience.